Hello, this is Idodmg and welcome back to the channel. In this last Epoch video, I want to talk to you about Season 2, Tombs of the Erased, and my experience so far. I want to cover some of the things that have been sticking out to me and helping me really enjoy my time with the season. Let's go ahead and talk about last Epoch, Season 2. Once I was able to finally log into the servers were a little bit janky at the start there, but they kind of seem to be fine as time went on. I haven't really had any server issues lately anyway. But when I very first got into the game, I decided I would make a primalist. I was going to spin my Wheel of Fate that I made with my first character, but I decided to reserve that for when I start doing my hardcore runs. When I very first started my primalist, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to go with it, but as I played, I've since then spec'd into Druid, and I'm running Claw. I'm going to try some sort of Claw setup with Maelstrom on there as well. We'll see how good it is and how far we make it with that Druid. Some of the things that I really love, and not all of these are new with Season 2, but they're new to me because I haven't played the game in quite some time. So I forgot about some of these really awesome things that keep the gameplay exciting and flowing. One of these mechanics that you can find while you're going through the campaign is the Nemesis system. Now you're going to come up to these remains. There's going to be 4 pieces of loot in there. And if there are items that you want, you can go ahead and challenge the Nemesis. But if you want to, you can empower these items so that the next time you come across these remains, those items will be even more powerful, but so will it be the boss. So if you decide to empower, you'll fight the boss, get a little bit of like epic shards or whatever. And then the next time you can empower one more time. And then finally, after you've empowered it twice and you're onto your third encounter here with the Nemesis or whatever, you'll take it down, and oftentimes it'll actually drop a legendary. And these legendaries we've been sharing on the DMGCREW Discord are really exciting. At least for me, I really enjoy finding a Nemesis and see what those items will become. I also encountered champions that I don't remember those ever being in last Epoch. I don't think they're new in Season 2, but they're pretty exciting as well. I also forgot how much I really like to just mess around with the loot filter as well. And I do have a guide video covering the loot filter and the best ways to use it and set one up if you want to check that out after this video. That video is a year old, but it is still relevant, and went through and watched it again, and it will still help you out with what you need. There's also the shrines have been way juiced up again. I don't think that's new in Season 2, but whatever. The shrines are really awesome and powerful to grab. And then, because back when I played, I just remember the shrines they were like, okay, like golden idol shrines would be like the best. But like I found a loot lizard shrine, and like a bunch of loot lizards popped out. And last time I played, there wasn't even loot lizards in the game that I remember anyway. So that was a whole nother thing that just made it feel really fun and made me want to continue playing the Primalist. Once I made it through the day and I was getting ready to stream, I really decided that I wanted to play a solo character found hardcore character. That's something I enjoy, is finding my own loot. And that added hardcore challenge, I think, was just appealing to me. Just something I wanted to try, and also spin that Wheel of Fate. That's one thing I really love about last Epoch, is all the characters have so many different varied ways that you can take all of, not even just the class and their masteries, but each skill even can go so many different ways. And so that's one thing with hardcore, is when you do die, you can try again and use everything that you've learned from that playthrough, right? Luckily, though, we have not died on my hardcore characters. We fired up the stream, we spun the Wheel of Fate, and we actually landed on Sentinel. I was really hoping I would not get Sentinel. I was going to try to not play that this season because I feel like that's what everyone's going to be playing. And then on top of that, I told myself I wasn't going to go Void Knight, and I wanted to go Hammer Throw. And the reason I wanted to go Hammers was I've never really done a Hammer build or a Throne build, really, and I thought I wanted to check it out. And I learned a massive mistake that I made with the Hammer Throw. I'm going to go ahead and show you here. I'm going to go ahead and show you the mistake here. So if you're playing a Sentinel and you're doing Hammer Throw, you don't make the same mistake I did. Let's go ahead here. Went over and jumped into this amazing tool. It's called LE Tools. Make sure you check this out if you're wanting to plan your own builds or just take notes or whatever. But what I did on the Hammer Throw is I look down here, I go, okay, there's more damage. I'll put 5 points into there. And then it also has a stun chance, which is really nice. But I really wanted that stun chance for that survival. And then I decided down here, you get more hit damage versus stunned. I thought this would be a great synergy, but it turns out it really doesn't stun as much as I thought it would. So you're better off, if you're going to be going with this ability, to come up here. And this is what I wanted to point out here, is grab Steadfast Path, and because this is going to make your hammers have a chance to deal double damage. Now on top of that, you can also make them spiral, but you're going to want to make them be able to actually orbit around your character as well. And then you can take it even further, and you can get 100% chance for this thing to deal double damage. That's going to be how you get a lot of damage. You can add more projectiles in there. You can grab even more damage, mana cost reduction. But the big thing here, and I feel like this is a really powerful thing, is that double damage chance over on the hammer throw. That was one of the mistakes I made here, and I slogged through for probably 2.5, 3 hours before finally Diz in the chat, big shout out to you, dude, was like, yo, dude, look, you can get double damage, like, and it made a massive difference. Now, the other part of the Sentinel here I was kind of mentioning was I really didn't want to go Void Knight with it, but it looks like I am going to be going down that route. I don't know, Paladin sounds fun too, but I'm wanting to check out here, and I jump back into LE Tools. I'm wanting to check out this Disintegrating Aura node over here that's going to convert it into Void, and then it scales off your Void damage and stuff. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but it sounds pretty cool, especially because we have so many different hammers spinning around us, and each of those hammers potentially having an aura around them. It sounds really fun. So I don't know, we'll check it out, let you know how it turns out. So that's my day one with the new season 2 of Last Epoch, and some closing thoughts here on the whole thing. Some of the big highlights for season 2, like the Woven faction, the tomes, and the cemeteries all being new, it seems like they're in the end game. It's something you unlock in the Monolith of Fate. Now, that's not really an issue in itself, but for me, I would like to encounter some of the new stuff while I'm playing through the campaign. And especially for people that haven't played for a while, or maybe new players that go a little bit slower through the campaign, this could be something there. But then again, maybe, it's kind of the carrot on a stick mentality of like, you have that thing you're working towards to unlock that Woven faction, the idol crafting, all that crazy stuff that we covered with my top 5 reasons to be hype for season 2. Make sure you check that out after this video if you haven't yet. Yeah, so far I'm really enjoying season 2. We're going to keep going through here, and it's going to take me a little bit longer since I'm playing softcore and hardcore, kind of, playing 2 different characters. But, I see myself playing Last Epoch for quite some time while we let Path of Exile 2 cook a little bit more. And that's going to wrap it up for this Last Epoch season 2, my impressions so far. Hopefully you found this video useful and or entertaining. If so, don't forget that like button and subscribe to the channel if you think I've earned it. Please consider becoming a YouTube channel member today and unlock some fun perks such as behind the scenes, early access to videos when I release a whole big batch, and bloopers that I find while editing. But don't forget, your view alone means the absolute world. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.